Kevershut, Yachad Kollel, Shlita. The pasuk says towards the end of Parshas Balak. It's a pasuk that we say in the Malchias for Rosh Hashanah. We quote this pasuk. It's a very important pasuk. It's a very hard pasuk. Lo hibit oven b'Yaakov, v'lo ra omol b'Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't stare, doesn't scrutinize the sins of Jacob. He doesn't see the omol, the thoughts of Yisrael. Hashem Eloikav imoy, the Lord his God is with him. Utruas melech boy, and the trua of the melech, the blasting, the shofar blasting of the king is in him. So it doesn't, not a pasuk that makes a lot of sense if you just read it, translate it. So Rashi HaKadosh on the pasuk says something very strange. Rashi says, Lo ibit oven b'Yaakov, shekishein oivrin al dvarov, when Jews do averos, when they're over al dvarov, they violate Hashem's rules, eino medakdek achareihem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't follow them and pursue them, lizboinein ba'oiniyos shelahem, to look carefully and investigate and analyze their sin. He doesn't do that. Uba'amolon, or into their thoughts, shem ovrim al daso. He doesn't really, so Rashi seems to say he doesn't, I don't know what he does. He looks, he sees it, a cursory view, he moves on. And we know the Gemara tells us in Masechet Baba Kama, Kol ha'omer shakadosh Baruch Hu vatran, yuvatroi mi'ohi. If a person thinks that HaKadosh Baruch Hu just forgives and forgets, it's like a big joke. You come and wave Yom Kippur and you give Mispar Yud Kei Vav Kei Tzedakah, $26, and you pay it in 8 installments, and you wish God all the best, that something's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. The chait is there, it's going to stay. So what does it mean? He doesn't look at the chait. He takes a look and he says, he runs away. What does it mean? HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes every action of every Jew very seriously, and we certainly wouldn't like on the tzad sachar, when we get reward, we wouldn't like Hashem to say, he doesn't look so carefully, he did something good, okay, it's good enough. Say, no, I want you to study it, I made a big effort, it cost me a lot of money, I got up very early, don't tell me it doesn't matter. So how is it going to work on the chait? He's not going to take it seriously. What does that mean to mean? It's a very hard Rashi. So the Sfarim, the Orach Chaim HaKadosh here, and all the Sfarim HaKadoshim, they say something very important, something very fundamental. And I'll show you, interestingly enough, you probably won't believe me, but I'll show you later, I'll prove it later, but I'm just going to tell you that there's a Rambam in Yad HaChazakah. The Rambam in Yad HaChazakah, everybody knows, Yad HaChazakah is a halacha sefer. It's a Shulchan Aruch, just written by the Rambam. A Shulchan Aruch is not a place for Kabbalah. Kabbalah is Kabbalah. I don't mean Kabbalah center on. I'm talking about Kabbalah from the Arizal. Kabbalah is Kabbalah and halacha is halacha. The Rambam is not a Kabbalist. Nobody ever said the Rambam is a Kabbalist. Just wait, hold your breath. We'll soon see differently. Says the Rambam has the following question. Very important Rambam. It's the end of the 2nd chapter of Hilchos Gerushin, Halacha Chaf. Misha din noten shekofin oto legaresh et eshto v'lo ratza legaresh. There are occasions when a man is obligated to divorce his wife. The Gemara in Ksuvas delineates cases where there's a chiyuv, where there's an obligation on a man to divorce his wife. For whatever reason, HaKadosh Baruch Hu decreed in the Torah that a get can only be given by the husband, and it can only be given b'ratzon habal, he has to voluntarily give the get. So there's 2 things. In a marriage, only the husband can give the get, and it has to be b'ratzon. Now in this marriage, the Beit Din determined that the marriage is over. This man must give a get. He's mechuyev to give a get. He does something that means his wife shouldn't live with him, and he has to give a get. Beit Din shel Yisrael, and he says, no, I'm not giving a get. So Beit Din shel Yisrael b'chol makom b'chol zman makin oto. A Beit Din has a right, if they determined he's mechuyav, obligated to give the get, they have a right to hit him ad sheyomar rotzeani, till he surrenders. He says, okay, I want the get. V'yichtov a get, and then he or the bezin should write the get. V'hu get kasher. It's a kosher get. So the Rambam asks a question that you're asking. That's not called I want something. If somebody hits me, very quickly I want it, I want to get rid of it, I want him to stop hitting me, but I don't want the get. So the Rambam says, V'lama lo batel get zeh. Why is this get not, should be pasul? It should be useless, this get. Sha'ariu anus ben biyad goyim ben biyad Israel. He said goyim can also beat him. He's been beaten up. So we all understand English. When he says I want the get, he doesn't want the get, he wants the guy to stop hitting him. So in English you say, I'll give the get. That's how you answer to stop the guy beating you. Where in the world did you see a ratzon? Where do you see a desire or an interest of acquiescing to give this get beratzon? So listen to this Rambam. This Rambam says a principle, a halachic principle. The Rambam created this principle based on the Gemara. It's a Gemara, but the Rambam created it. She'ein omrim anus. We only say a person is coerced. We only say a person is forced. We can only say a person is forced if what we're forcing him to do is something that the Torah doesn't require. What do you mean the Torah doesn't require? Kagon, mishu hukad shemachar o natan. If somebody gets beaten, so I want you to sell your house to me. He doesn't want to sell the house. I hang him on a tree, I keep hitting him. He sells the house. He's not mechuyev to sell me the house. Not obligated. So that's called I forced him. That's called inastioto. I coerced him. Avo, mi shetakfo yitzro hara, levatel mitzvah o laasot avira. But if a person is not going to do a mitzvah, he refuses to put on tefillin, he refuses to build a sukkah, he refuses to hear a shofar, or he says, I'm going to eat this piece of shrimp, I'm going to eat this piece of chazir. The Torah says you must do this and you mustn't do that. He says, I don't care, I'm going to do it. So why is he doing it? He's not napikar. If you ask him, do you believe in God? He believes in God. Do you believe in the Torah? He believes in. So why are you doing this? Because that's what I like to do. He's called takfato yetzer hara. He was attacked by the yetzer hara. The yetzer hara made a very careful attack, strategic attack on this person. שתקבו יצרו הרע לבטל מצווה או לעשות עבירה, והוקע עד שעשה דבר שחייב לעשותו, או עד שנתרחק בדבר שאסור לעשותו, and in the end he put on his tefillin, or he went in the sukkah, he heard the shofar. He's called a Jew who listened to the shofar. So well, he didn't really want, he was beaten? No. He wanted. You see in a second, he wanted. But the Yetzer Hara told him no. Yetzer Hara told him, you don't want. So we beat him, and the Yetzer Hara retreated. There was no Yetzer Hara right now. So what comes out? Ratzono HaTahor, his real ratzon. His real ratzon is to do what the Torah says. Ein ze anus mimenu, eluhu anas atzmo b'da'ato hara'a. It's on the contrary. He was trapping himself by surrendering to the Yetzer Hara. But before the Yetzer Hara attacked him, he wants to do what is good. Lefikach, listen carefully. This Jew proclaims, I don't want to divorce my wife. He wants to be a Jew. He believes in Yiddishkeit. Not Napikarius. Believes in God. Believes in the Torah. And his true will is to do all the mitzvahs and to run away from the Averis. And his Yetzer Hara captured him and raped him and doesn't let him do the mitzvahs. Kevan Shukan, he was beaten. Ad shetashash yitzro, till his Yetzer became softened and went away. V'amorotzani kfar giresh l'retzono, he is a person who divorced her willingly. This is Rambam's halacha. This is not a sichat musar or philosophy. This is halacha. The minute the man screams out Rotzeani, the sofer of the get starts writing immediately, because he wants to as quickly as possible. This guy makes more problems. So the minute the guy screams, Rotzeni, and Rotzet a get, immediately they write it. Takes a while to write a get. But let's say this guy would be a huge expert. In a few minutes he wrote the get, the woman's divorced. 10 minutes later the guy's screaming, you forced me, I don't wanted this, I'm going to the police, I didn't want this. The Rambam says kosher again. Because he does want it. Kol zman the Yetzer Hara is out of the way, he wants it. Let me explain you something. There's a Mishnah that says, מצווה שמצווה גוררת מצווה, ועבירה גוררת עבירה. You should know that when you do one mitzvah, the mitzvah brings another mitzvah. When you do an aveira, sin brings another sin. Now, the Mishnah is not a book of psychology. We're not talking about a person, he feels high, he has a spiritual high, he feels spiritual, he feels good, he feels beautiful. I don't know what they say nowadays. So Memei did one mitzvah, he's going to do another mitzvah. Does an aveira, he's depressed, does another aveira. That might be true. I'm not arguing, that might well be true. A person gets in a good mood, in a good swing, he does good things. It's bad things, that's all true. That's not what the Mishnah is talking about. Rabbi Chaim Mivolozhin, Ikar Talmido shel HaGaon Mivilna Zchuto Yagen Aleinu. Rabbi Chaim Volozhin is the main student of the Gaon of Vilna. He says the pshat is like this. He says that when a person does a mitzvah, he said Al Pi Kabbalah, when a person does a mitzvah, even before he does the mitzvah, when he makes the decision to do the mitzvah and he starts on the way to do the mitzvah, he is surrounded by light, or v'kedusha. The decision to do a mitzvah, the person gets surrounded by or v'kedusha. And as he proceeds through the mitzvah, the or and the kedusha gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and reaches its strongest point when he does the mitzvah, when he fulfills his ratzon, he does the mitzvah. At that point there's a huge or and a huge kedusha. The quality of the or and the quality of the kedusha depends, the quality of the or and the quality of the kedusha depends on the quality of the mitzvah. If he does a half-hearted mitzvah, then he gets 30 watts. If he does it strong, he gets 100 watts. That depends on him. But there will be or kedusha, and the level will depend on the quality of the mitzvah. When he completes the mitzvah, the or leaves him. The or goes away, and the or waits for him ba'olam haba. And the chelik that a person has in olam haba is all the light from all the mitzvot the person did in his lifetime. That's his chelik ba'olam haba. So if you come to olam haba and you're dissatisfied with what they give you, there's no one to talk to, because all you're going to meet there is the or you created in your lifetime. Anything you didn't create isn't there. So you can't say, hey, what happened? There's no door in this building. I got a building in olam haba without a door. You didn't do achnasat orchim, so there's no door. Finished. Lo ze shum davar. You can say whatever you like. There's no window upstairs. Yeah, but you looked in somebody else's property. You shouldn't look at the property. You lost your window. There's no itzah. It's exactly what it is. The kedusha stays with the person in this world. And Reb Chaim Volozhin says the property, the particular essence of the kedusha is it's thirsty for more. It's thirsty for more kedusha. I repeat what I just said. The kedusha that a person brought to himself by doing a mitzvah itself has a thirst for more kedusha. So the kedusha seeks mitzvot, not you. The kedusha you brought to yourself, which is now part of you, seeks more mitzvot. That's pshat, mitzvah goreret mitzvah. If you do a mitzvah, you create kedusha, and that kedusha is dragging you to another mitzvah. Does that mean you will do another mitzvah? Maybe not. Maybe you'll decide not to do it. But if you let it follow its natural path, by doing the first mitzvah, you already brought yourself closer to the second mitzvah. The Rachmana litzlan, the other side is also true. When a person thinks to do an avera, choshech v'tumah comes to the person. And as the person goes through the avera, the choshech, the darkness, and the tumah grows, and it reaches its strength when he does the avera. Depending on how bad the avera is and how much you put into it, that's the amount of darkness and tumah that exists. He finishes the avera, the darkness goes away. That's his Gehinom. So when a person dies, he goes to Gehinom. He's not going to any place, he's going to his darkness. They throw him into the choshech that he created. And the tumah remains with him. And just like the kedusha has a ratzon, a desire for more kedusha, Rachmana litzlan, the tumah has a desire for more tumah. So a person goes gambling, and he sits there and he thinks it's the biggest Yeshua since Har Sinai. This is the greatest breakthrough. He won some money, and it's unbelievable, and this, I played and I won. And he's schlepping back to Las Vegas again, and he thinks, I love this. The tumah is dancing in the street. The tumah is taking him there. He's all mixed up. He's connected to the tumah. He thinks the tumah is him. It's not him. The Rambam just told us, the ratzon of a person who wants to be part of Klal Yisrael is good. V'hayetzer takfato, he's being attacked by the Yetzer. But this guy isn't being attacked, but he already invited in the Yetzer. He already did the Aveira. He did the gambling. He invited the gambling Yetzer to become his partner. And he's sitting on his lave, on his heart, this thing. And next morning he wakes up, he says, before Nagelwasser, the guy says, gambling, it's good for you, go gambling. What do you want to go to work and make a couple of dollars? Go to Las Vegas and make $1 million. You become you buy a private plane, give tzedakot, give tzedakah, rabbi, tzedakah. That's what's happening. The Tumah is schlepping him. But the shoresh of the Jew is tahor. And if you can beat the Yetzer Hara out of the court, automatically there'll be tahor. Now this answers another question. It always bothered me. The Rambam Paschal based on the Gemara. You beat this man, you beat this man, you beat him. He said, Ani rotzeh lektov haget. Says Rambam, yichtov, write the get. When? Now. Write it right now. But in a quarter of an hour, the guy's dancing around. I fooled you, I didn't mean it, I don't want to give the get. Rambam doesn't bat an eyelid. The woman's mugureshet v'kasher l'kol adam b'Yisrael. Why don't you wait a few hours? See if he's holding by this rotzeh. He's not really holding by it. The minute you stop beating him, because it's pashut. The minute you stop beating him, the Yetzer Hara jumps back. We know that. We know he's going to say in an hour's time he didn't want it. We know he's going to call the police. He's going to get an attorney. He's going to tell his wife, you're Eshadish. We understand all that. The Rambam understands that also. We don't care what he thinks. As long as we reach the point where we said rotzeh ani, at that point, even though he feels he was forced, but since he's being forced to do what Hashem wants of him, and the Bedin Paskin, this is what Hashem wants of him, even though he says the Bezdin is wrong, we don't care what he thinks, we don't care what he wants. This is the facts, this is the din. So now we go back 1 second to our question. No, to our pasuk. Let me ask you a question. We spoke about the Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't look at the Averas so carefully, we don't know what it means. Let me ask you another question. This pasuk of Lo hebit aven b'Yaakov is one of the psukim of Malchiot b'Yom Kippur, Yom Rosh Hashanah. We put it in the Musaf as one of the verses of Malchiot. This is Malchut Hashem. Where in the pasuk is there a proof of Malchut Hashem? Is he doesn't look at our sin so carefully, therefore he's king? I can also not look at the sin so carefully, that makes me king? So you could say, yes, listen, only the king has the right how to judge. You're right, you could say that. But now we have a much better pshat. What makes a king a king? So Chazal say, Ein melech b'lo am. You can't have a king with no subjects. If I proclaim myself that I'm king of this room, I'm only king of this room if everybody in the room thinks I'm king. If everybody in the room thinks I need a doctor, right, and I'm unhealthy because I think I'm the king, then I'm not king. So every melech needs an am. Now it depends who the am is. Who is the melech is reflected in the people. So if you are the king of China, so what do you have in China? Millions and billions of people who all make rice in a rice paddy and work in a factory. They're allowed to have one child. They all don't think. They all eat rice and finish. That's what they do. So if that's the king you want to be, it's not such an impressive thing. Who do you represent? Kadosh Baruch Hu is represented in this world by the children of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, built children whose core, whose pnimi, is pure. And even though we appear dirty and sullied, and we seem to do averos, and we look like people who moved a long way from where Hashem wants us, but bini rega, we can become pure. Because the core, the inner pnimi, the root, the shorish, the core is pure. So that's why we say this pasuk in the Malchiot of Rosh Hashanah, because when we're proclaiming God King, we say, which sort of people do you have? You know why Hashem doesn't dwell on our averot and doesn't look deeply into our averot? You know why he doesn't do that? Because our averot are to some extent superficial. Because avera goreret avera, the Yetzer Hara, doesn't mean we're not responsible, we are responsible. But after all the averot, there is still a shorish, a root which is pure. And this person can come back instantaneously and be a very important Jew. So I'll read you a Lashon HaRambam. There's a Lashon HaRambam that again, looks a little bit strange. Rambam in the 7th parak of Hilchot Shuvah, the Rambam says an important principle. Rabbeinu Yonah disagrees a little bit with the Rambam, but the Rambam says like this: Va'al tomar, no, al yedameh bala tshuva, shehu meruchak mimalat hatzadikim. A person did averos, serious person. He knew the averos, Boil Eshetish, Mechalel Shabbat, he knew he was doing it. Not he didn't know. Did bad things. He knew better. So he thinks, I've done such bad things, I'm finished now. Even if I do a little bit of tshuva, I'm finished. Who wants me? I'm a useless reject. Says the Rambam, don't think that way. Elo ohuv v'nechmad lifnei haboreh. He is beloved by Kadosh Baruch Hu, kiru lo chatam me'olam, as if he does proper tshuva, as if he never sinned. Listen to this. Kama mu'uleh ma'alat tshuva. You want to know how wonderful and pure the quality of tshuva is? Emesh hayazeh muvdal me'Hashem Elokei Yisrael. Yesterday, this person was divided away from Hashem. He was distant. Listen what he says. Avonotechem hayu mavdilim benechem tzoek. Yesterday, this person was full of sin. He didn't do tshuva yet. Tzoek ve'eino na'ana. His prayers are unanswered. Oseh mitzvot. He does many mitzvot before he does tshuva. Tov in the Torah, when the mitzvot come in the Shabbat, HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts them in the, what do you call the thing for the garbage? Trash machine, what do you call it? No, the shredder. Puts in the shredder. You send him a nice beautiful lulav, he says put it in the shredder. Grrr. You send him tefillin, he says grind him down. I don't want anything to do with this guy. He's a bal avera. Doesn't belong up here. This was yesterday. V'hayom hu mudbak b'shchina. The same person today did tshuva. He's mudbak b'shchina. Tzoek, he calls out to Hashem v'oneh miyad. He gets answered immediately. Oseh mitzvot u'mekablin otam b'nachat u'b'simcha. Understand? Yesterday he was so far rejected they ground up his tefillin and threw them in the garbage. And today Kadosh Baruch Hu picks up his tefillin and kisses them. I mean, you have such extremes. Let him be about tshuva for half a year, for 2 years, for 10 years. Let him prove himself. And then eventually we'll reinstate him. What do you mean? Yesterday was like this, today something else? Was like a game? But it's well understood. Because if the pnimi of the person is tahor, the minute you take away the rubbish, then you have a pure person. Why shouldn't he be close to Hashem? Why shouldn't Hashem embrace him? He got rid of the Yetzer Hara that's tokefoto. He got rid of the Yetzer Hara that makes a nuisance of itself. And it's been therefore he can get reinstated. So this is a fantastic principle that we have to know. Now let me show you something fascinating. I just heard it from a tape from my Rabbi Zichrono Livracha, Sifsotav Dovot Bekever, and he showed Nefesh HaChaim. Nefesh HaChaim is the Sefer Reb Chaim Mivolozhin. He's the student of the Gaon of Vilna. Nefesh HaChaim is Sefer Kabbalah. Now, we don't learn Sefer Kabbalah. Certainly in Ashkenazim, we don't learn Sefer Kabbalah. I can't understand the Mishnah. If they bother with Sefer Kabbalah, I shouldn't understand. But sometimes we read it, gives a chizuk without understanding. It gives a chizuk here. See there how important things are. So Reb Chaim Mivolozhin is explaining how tshuva works with nefesh, with ruach and neshama. How does tshuva work? It's a very complicated process. And he talks all divrei Kabbalah with sources from the Zohar, the Tikkun Zohar, the Raya Mehemna, the Sfarim we can't pronounce, never heard of. It brings proofs. On the side, there's a Haggadah note that his son, Reb Itzla, the son of Reb Chaim, wrote. So he's writing Kabbalah from the Zohar, from here, from there. Writes on the side of the Nefesh HaChaim. What I'm talking about, Hainu Ratzon HaPnimi, all that I've been talking about here, or my father was talking about in this book, means that after all said and done, there's a deep Ratzon Pnimi of a Jew to be kosher. Hamachtir Nefesh Mitzvah, that's the crown on the head of a Jew. Mitzad HaYirah, Einen Nefseket Olam, that pure point of Kedusha and Ratzon Tov in a Jew never goes away. It might be covered with tons of dirt, but it's there. Ayin Rambam Sof Perik Bet de Yachad Gerushin. He quotes here as a source for the Kabbalah. He quotes the Rambam. He's quoting a Rambam in a Sefer Kabbalah. He knows the Rambam wasn't writing Kabbalah. Rambam was writing Halakha. But the Rambam was such a profound person, such a Ish Eshkolot. Mi Moshe Ad Moshe. The Rambam did something nobody ever did. Moshe Rabbeinu came. The Chidah brings that when night he finished the Sefer Yad Chazakah. His father came to him Chalom with another man next to him. He didn't know the other man was. His father told him, I brought you Moshe Rabbeinu to see your chibur. Moshe Rabbeinu looked at the Chibur and gave the Rambam a kiss. So the Chidah brings about the Rambam. So in the Sefer Kabbalah, he then said, the Rambam knew all the soidas of Kabbalah. Now let's talk about them. But this halach in Yachad Kollel is a soid in Kabbalah. It's a principle of Kabbalah. Only from the secret of the Torah do we understand that always the shorish of the Jew remains tahor, whatever it looks like. Unless people do something which God forbid says, Ein lem chelek l'olam haba, that's a rare thing. The short of Ein lem chelek l'olam haba, everybody remains mechubar. Everything's that black box, it's untouchable, you can't touch it. It's all kedusha, it's all toiv. עיין רמב"ם סוף פרק ב' הלכות גירושים בדין גט מעושה עד שאומר רוצה אני שהגט כשר אם הדין נותן שכופין אותו לגרש עין שם הטעם דלא מקרה אנוס כיוון שאמיתת רצונו לעשות כל המצוות אלה שיצרו שתקפו וכיוון שהוא קד שתש יצרו ואומר רוצה אני כבר גירש לרצונוי עד כאן לשוני הקודש. The Rambam, La Halacha, is quoted in a Sefer Kabbalah because this is the shorish of what a Jew is. So before we come to Yom Kippur, we need to know this. We haven't worried about Kabbalah. We've got plenty of Torah Niglet to learn. Don't worry about the Kabbalah. But the person has to know that what we're doing, and I'll give you interesting proof. Kriyat Torah at Mincha on Yom Kippurim is Parshat Ha'arayot, the Parsha of Biot Asurot, the women you mustn't be with. I'll ask you a question. If you were writing the Marzah, and it came to Kippur Mincha, where every Jew is at the highest level he could be, he hasn't eaten already 24 hours, and he's Parush Me'olam Hazeh, and he's as spiritual as ever get in his life, which Kriyat HaTorah would you have created? Parshat Arayot? Or you would have said the Akedah, or Yetziat Mitzrayim, or Aseret HaDibrot. Which one would you choose? You choose Aseret HaDibrot, so would I. Two of us. We already overruled the Chumash. So why did they choose Parshat Arayot? You know why? Because the Gemara says, Sof Masechta Makkos, Gezel va'arayis, Nafsho shel Adam mechamdatan umitavelen b'kol sha'ah. Every person has a problem with money and Arayot. It's always bothering him. Doesn't mean he does the Aveira. It's a challenge. And it's so confusing the whole year, he doesn't know what's right and what's wrong. Maybe yeah, maybe nicht. One time in the year when he has real clarity, Mincha on Yom Kippur, when the body is weak, it's like they beat this man, doesn't want to forget, till the Yetzer Hara ran away. By us Mincha, Yom Kippur, the Yetzer Hara ran away. The Yetzer Hara ran away for a couple of minutes. So now when we say this is Asur, we really understand it. There's once in a year that we get it in our heads, in our hearts. This is Asur. This is Shvelut. This brings a person down. This destroys a person's Olam Haba. It makes his Olam Hazeh a mess. This is despicable, not for me. There's one time in the year it resonates. Yom Kippur b'mincha. Because we drove the Yetzer Hara away. Because he's not there. Yomim Yutzaru v'lo echad mehem. There's one day in the year when the Yetzer Hara has no shaykhs. Yom Kippur, he can't be mekatrek. And he's so far away that if we say Davar ze Asur, even though my heart has always interest in Arayot, but not now. I'm free of it, I'm liberated, I'm able to look at this and say it's Ma'us, it's Tumah, it's To'eva, I want nothing to do with it. So that's what we have to use Yom Kippur, we have to understand. Kodesh Baruch Hu gave us a day when the Yetzer Hara is beaten. He's beaten out of the court. If he's beaten out of the court, we can do good things. And if we do good things, the Kodesh Baruch Hu will embrace them because we are good. The Yetzer is not good, but we are good. The Kodesh Baruch Hu would accept our tshuva be'ezrat Hashem v'kol echad yizkeh legmar chatima tova v'shana mevorechet.